Okay, so good morning. Oh, sorry, good evening, everyone. Um, I think I recorded up to an extent. I've been having issues with this recording, and it's just I'm just trying to like try my best to record so that everyone can benefit from the day one that most people missed actually. Thank you for coming for joining this class, and I'll make it so snappy because I've wasted a lot of time, so you guys can catch up for the class coming up today. I would have done it even before now, but um, all the preparation was quite a lot. Having to record, you cannot imagine recording something that didn't voice out. Okay, to the class, welcome to day one, which was missed. So, welcome to day one of the class. I just want to go into some um, mindset checks before we actually go into the design class. So, majorly, I am Stephen Oladotun. I'm a creative, and of over 5 years of experience working with brands, working with ministry, church ministry, working with trying to like design the brand and the identity um, of um, of businesses. Sorry. So majorly when I started, it was quite a rough um, time when I had to just familiarize myself with the things that were happening. So um, I actually had the mind of a designer. I think that's one of the things that really helped me, and I want it to like help us also. I want us to know about it. So before I started, I used to see designs, I used to see it should look like this, it should be aligned like this, Even in my little way of seeing designs, I felt like okay, this one shouldn't be like this, should be like, sometimes when you are working and then that's what you are thinking about in your brain. That was me before I started designing, and even when I started designing majorly. So my first ever design was me trying to like work with gradients, not starting at at a small place, trying to make sure that I innovate something, and that was me from the start. And it's not something to boast about. It's just my personality, and I want you to learn from it so it can help us. We can also apply it. So I used to check how things you should go, you should look better than this. And I just believed that this particular design, I can do it. But I knew the difference between me and doing it and being able to do it was actually something. So I didn't know until I actually took a class, a Canva class, where our tutor actually took us on the fundamentals of design, and then also took us on Canva, how to navigate Canva and know how to design. Majorly, that was like 5 years ago, and for you it was actually a lot. It was a lot because I had to like make sure that I'm constantly designing also, and someone that does not even have work that can help me to um well, people that doesn't for me that I did not even have um I didn't have design projects that can help me to practice. Can you see? So I didn't have design projects to practice with majorly. So I just had to, make sure that I design, volunteer for people to design for them and everything. So I just, if you bring your work, I'm a graphic designer. Okay, can you do this? I make sure that I do it. I put in my best, put in the little principles that I learned from the class. And over on and on like that. I've been volunteering, I was spending data, and on a lot. So it was actually a lot those periods. So one of the things I want you to bring out is that you can actually do that design that you so much admire. The difference between the distance between you and it is the basics of design that you don't know, and also practice, constant practice. And I tell you, there's nothing that is not possible. So, and then you just have to have someone that knows the way, and then can lead can hold your hands even along the way, and you go. So that's about that aspect. And honestly, that's just what you need. In fact, I did not say you cannot start on your own. No. You start on your own, but you would actually spend a lot of years having to familiarize yourself with a lot of things in design. Everyone's journey are different majorly. But I will tell you that I tell you for sure that you will cut a lot of years by paying money, just paying a little amount. And then in no time you begin to like regain the money. Why? Because you actually make sure that you drop some you hired someone that can hold your hands to design. So that's what was I did at that particular. I made sure that I looked for the money, and then I was able to um I was able to start designing well, actually. So in fact that money itself was one of the things that pushed me for real. Okay, so that's that. So let's go on to the aspect of the mindset that you should have even as a designer. So first of all, I said this in the original class for those of us that missed it. In fact, yeah, so that's why I'm doing this class. So majorly, I said it that creativity actually starts in your mind. And if you don't get to have that mind of creativity and believe that you are creative, that you have creativity in you, you would not start out. You feel like your design is not enough. So now, if you have crossed that before, I'm saying it for everyone that has not known this. You are actually creative, So it's now for you to like understand the protocols that make for your creativity to come out. So even after you having a particular talent, you have to learn to make sure that the talent is usable by the world, right? Because the world system is not your system. You have to learn the world system, right? So and then there are things that make your talent. There are things that make it um orderly and acceptable. So that's why we get to learn. A lot of folks might have talent in that aspect, but you still have to learn. Okay, so you have to make sure that you are always learning. You have to make sure that you are always learning and know that creativity is in your mind is actually what you have. And then you should also make sure that all of your designs you treasure them, like you own them, that this is what I designed, and you should be proud about it. And when someone gives you a correction, you should accept it, but you should know that this is what I designed. I will do better, so the next one do better. So that's how you would be able to grow and grow and grow. You see that even in no time you would scale up. So now another mindset I want you to have is that problem solving. Design is not only in making design look good, it's also in communicating. So if your design looks good, but it lacks in that aspect of communicating, it has failed woefully. So because graphic design majorly is using visuals to communicate, so we'll do that more in the I'm just giving a paraphrase. I'm just giving a opening um, talk on designing. So at least you would get to understand more when we go into the theory aspect of design. Okay, so one of the things that you have to do is that you have to have the person that you are designing for, the person that gave you the project. You have to have their brand in mind, their ministry in mind. You have to make sure that you know that you want to present their ministry in a very good way. You want to present them good to the public. And also for brands, you want to present them good to the public. Imagine you are creating for a company now. You should make sure that your work is professional on that level, on that high level, right? So that they can actually get produce more results, and then they will actually pay you more, and you will be like an asset in their hands. And that's more reason why we have to learn step by step and as it should be, right? So that is that. So another one you have to have is details. You have to be detailed. As a designer, you have to be detailed. It speaks your professionality. It speaks your professionality. You should be intentional about putting your image in a particular place, putting your text in a particular place, and following all the principles of design, making sure that it's able to communicate. When people see it, it will communicate. In fact, even at a glance. And there was a quote the quote for today, that if you still have to explain your design, that means you have not finished designing. You have to go and redesign it. So if you are to explain what you designed and people cannot just understand it by looking at it, that means you have a problem with your design majorly. So another mindset you have to have is is the explorative mindset. You should actually explore. I personally look at designs. I deliberately go and find designs on Instagram and look at them and look into details. I will even zoom out that let me know what is in this design. I can actually do design. Let me see. And then I begin to identify the effects they use, the kind of fonts they use, and all like that. And you should also make research, get to make research about the font you see. You might not always do that because you might not always be designing, but make sure that as much as you can, just make research on designs, make research on the designs that you see. So, and then another thing is that you are open to criticism. Be open, be open, be open, be open, be open. Let them correct your designs. Let them criticize your design. And make sure that even as you've owned it and they've criticized it, you will do better. So you have that kind of mindset that they did not condemn my work did not condemn me as a designer, they only condemned the work I did. I can actually do better. So that's why there's opportunity for you to collect more projects, there's opportunity for you to do better, there's opportunity for you to learn. So that's it. So the last but not least is going to be time management. In your mindset, you should know always to manage time. And the aspect of also practicing, you must be intentional about practice. If you can practice every day from this class or maybe from the master class, I tell you your design skill would increase by the day. Yes, if you can watch tutorial and you can practice, after understanding the basics. In fact, that's the best way to learn this thing. That's the best way to learn any skill. Learn the basics, learn the fundamentals, and then in fact you can just make sure that you learn the basics and then get someone that will hold you by the hand. But one thing about tutorials is that it's scattered. You cannot have real life learning, and that's also would even draw you back um from 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 arriving at that your professionality rate, because there's no one that you can ask question, there's no one that you just follow and follow and follow. And that's why people like us actually bring up classes, and you can see that I'm not rushing over the basics. I'm doing it little by little so you can get to understand, and then you can have a very good foundation to start your graphic design career. Okay, so let's go on to the class, and I'm going to be going fast on the class because um, there's no much time actually. So this class is just to brief us on the things that we spoke about. But for real, um, I wished you guys were actually around because it was beautiful. But I've recorded a day one video that was not even, but I had to like re-record. Sha. So now to start up, we are going to be talking on the basics of graphic design, the introduction to graphic design, what is graphic design, brief history, core concepts, application, design tools. We are going to talk on those particular aspects, right? So brace up and let us go on. Yeah, this the Crealyst, by the way.